Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. In the name of Allah, the most gracious and the most merciful. Dear students, Assalamu alaikum. This is grade 9 English and I am your teacher, Mr. Jameel Malik. Today our topic is phrase and its kinds. What is a phrase? This is the question. A phrase is a group of words that stands together as a single grammatical unit, typically as a part of a clause or a sentence. A phrase does not contain a subject and verb and consequently cannot convey a complete thought. In simple words, we may say that a phrase is a group of words which does not contain a subject and predicate of its own. It is a part of a sentence or a clause, but independently it cannot give a complete sense. Now look at the examples of phrases. Number one, once in a blue moon, it is a prepositional phrase. And why do we say it is a preposition phrase? Because it begins with preposition once. Now, number two, reading a book. It is present participle phrase. It is beginning with present participle involving action over here, reading a book. Number three, to be free. It is an infinitive phrase. It is beginning with infinitive to be. Number four, totally delicious food. It is a noun phrase acting as a noun. Number four, running water. It's a gerund phrase. It's beginning with running, gerund. Now look at noun phrase. Well, dear students, a phrase that acts like a noun in the sentence is called a noun phrase. It contains a noun and other associated words, usually determiners and modifiers which modify the noun. Or a noun phrase comprises of a noun as a head word and other related words, determiners and modifiers may come before or after the noun. The entire phrase serves as a noun in a sentence. In simple words, we may say that a noun phrase is a group of words which acts as a noun. Now look at examples of noun phrase. But before we start our examples, well, dear students, keep in your mind that a noun phrase acts as a subject of the sentence and sometimes it acts as object of the sentence. Now look at these examples carefully. Number one, they hired a huge beautiful home. Over here, noun phrase is used as object. They hired what they hired? They hired a huge beautiful home. So a huge beautiful home is acting as a noun phrase and object of the verb hired. Now look at example number two. She bought a decent black shirt. She bought what? A decent black shirt. A decent black shirt is acting as a noun phrase. Moreover, it is object of the verb bought. Now look at example number three. One of our close relatives never drinks coffee. One of our close relatives never drinks coffee. If you look at this sentence, you see that a noun phrase is acting as subject in this sentence. It is subject of the verb drinks. Example number four, a woman in the window shouted for help. A woman in the window shouted for help. In this sentence, a woman in the window is a noun phrase and it is acting as subject of the verb shouted. Okay, now look at example number five. I expect. What do I expect? It means I expect something. I expect to win the first prize. To win the first prize is used as a noun phrase. This is what I expect. I expect to win the first prize. It is used as object of the verb expect, so it is a noun phrase as well. Well, dear students, remember, a sentence can also consist of more than one noun phrase. A sentence can also consist of more than one noun phrase. Now look at example. One of our close relatives bought a beautiful red car. I repeat, one of our close relatives bought a beautiful red car. If you focus over this example, you see that we have got two noun phrases. One is acting as subject and the other is acting as object. Now look at adjective phrase. A phrase that acts like an adjective in a sentence is called adjective phrase. Like an adjective, it modifies a noun or a pronoun. It comprises of adjectives, modifiers, and other words modifying the noun or pronoun. Well, dear students, as you know, that an adjective modifies a noun or pronoun, or it describes the qualities of a noun or pronoun. So, same is the case with adjective phrase. An adjective phrase is a group of words which describes a noun or pronoun. Now, if you look at these examples, you will better be able to understand adjective phrase. Number one, a kid on the roof is looking at the sky. If you look at the underlined part of this sentence, on the roof, it is describing a kid. Therefore, it is an adjective phrase. It is describing this noun kid. Example number two, the boy in the shop is my friend. The boy in the shop is my friend. If you look at this example, you see that in the shop is used for the boy. It is describing the boy. Who is the boy? The boy who is in the shop. If you write who is in the shop, it will become adjective clause. Remember, for a phrase, there is no subject and there is no verb. In the shop is defining the boy, noun, so therefore it is an adjective phrase. Number three, a lady with long hair is walking in the garden. What kind of lady? A lady with long hair. So it defines the lady, that how does she look like? A lady with long hair is walking in the garden. Therefore, underlined part of a sentence is adjective phrase. It describes a lady. Okay. Now look at example number four. She gave me a cup full of tea. Well, dear students, if you look at this phrase which is underlined, full of tea, it defines what? It defines the cup. Or you can say that it describes the cup. That how does a cup look like? Either it is full, it is empty, or it is half. So it is full of tea. It is defining cup. Therefore, it is an adjective phrase. Now look at the last example. A student from my college won the competition. If you look at the underlined part of a sentence, it is an adjective phrase. It describes the noun a student. Now we move on to adverb phrase. What is an adverb phrase? Well, dear students, as you know very well, that an adverb is a word which modifies a verb or it defines a verb. It defines the quality of a verb. Look at this adverb phrase. So, same is the function of adverb phrase. A phrase that acts like an adverb in a sentence is called an adverb phrase. Like an adverb, it modifies a verb or other adverb in the sentences. It contains an adverb and other words, that is noun, preposition, modifiers, which as a whole act as an adverb phrase. Now look at these examples. Number one, he drives a car at high speed. Well, if you look at this underlined part of a sentence, you see that how does he drive a car? He drives a car at high speed. At high speed defines the verb drives. It modifies the verb drive, therefore, it is an adverb phrase. Now, look at example number two. The racer was running very fast. Now, very fast is describing verb running, therefore, it is an adverb phrase. If you simply write that the racer was running fast, so fast will become an adverb. It will not be ascertained as adverb phrase. For a phrase, we should have more than one word together. Now look at example number three. She always speaks in a respectful way. How does she speak? She speaks in a respectful way. So, this underlined part of a sentence is describing the verb speaks. So, it is an adverb phrase. Now, look at number four. She welcomed the guests in a nice way. How did she welcome the guest? Well, she welcomed the guest in a nice way. It shows her manner. So, therefore, this underlined part of a sentence is called an adverb phrase as it describes the verb welcomed. Now, look at example number five. He stayed at college for a few hours. He stayed at college for a few hours. For a few hours is underlined part of a sentence and it defines time, that for how much time did he stay at college. So it modifies the verb stay. What was the duration of stay? Now look at the last example. The kid sat beside her mother. The kid sat beside her mother. Beside her mother is underlined part of a sentence. It describes verb sat. And sit is the first form of verb. Sit, sat, and sat. Okay? So it is an adverb phrase. It is describing the verb sat. Well, dear students, as we see that an adverb describes a verb, it can be an adverb of time, place, manner, frequency, etc. So same is the case over here with these adverbs. These are the adverbs of time, manners, and frequency as well. I hope you understand this topic of adjective phrase, adverb phrase, and noun phrase. Well, dear students, if you have any confusion, you can please get back to me as soon as possible. Thank you very much. Goodbye.